Hello, how are you doing? Welcome back to another video. Glorious day, and I've come back to the moors. You may recognise this thing behind me, and the reason I've come back up here is because it's probably the place where I can do the least damage. You may have seen the footage, but I thought I'd announce it officially because so many of you have shown such an interest over the past. I've finally bought a drone, and here it is. It's the Mavic Pro Platinum. It's not the latest drone, it's one of the older ones, but it's like the one that I casually smashed into the River Irwell. And the reason I brought that one is because it's a bit cheaper these days, and I've got spare batteries for it and a spare controller, can you believe? So I thought I'd come up here to the moors to have a bit of a practice with it. And I can't do much damage up here, can I? 7 months ago I came up here and I was filming these vents for the Standedge railway and canal tunnels way below us, about 500 feet below us. And remember, I put a ladder up at the side because I didn't have a drone. Well, if I'd have had a drone, I'd have just done it the easy way. So that's what I've come up to do today. We'll get a quick shot of the vents. And of course, there's the old monster over there, Redbrook Engine House. We'll go over there in a minute and take a look at that. I've used it, you've seen the footage before, because if you watched the Victoria Mill video, I flew it there and I flew it in that courtyard. That was my drone I was flying in the courtyard. And that was the first day I used it, and I nearly crashed the bloody thing on the first day because, remember me saying in that courtyard there was like a turbulence? Well, it was sending the drone over to the wall of the mill. Probably show you the footage here now. And a combination of me on the remote control being rubbish, I'm going up wrong way and sending it even further towards the walls. So yeah, this was cut out of the original video. Look how close I get to the wall here, and I'm panicking now. And I'm pressing the wrong buttons because I'm panicking. Spin the bloody thing round. Anyway, yeah, that was nearly its end, but we did do that lovely little up and down on the chimney, so I'll just show you that again. It nearly smashed into the wall on the first day and ended up on the floor, and it was a bit of a bugger to land as well, so in that little courtyard, but I made it. So anyway, we'll see what we can do today. We'll get a shot of the, like I say, the vents. We'll take a look at Redbrook, which we've seen before, and I'm just stood above the scary flooded shaft, which I'll show you now. It's still flooded. I'll just finish my brew and show you. So I've just been reading about this shaft. This shaft is called Flint Pit, and I'm reading about it in my Standedge tunnel book. And I found a little piece because I've always wondered if it was an abandoned shaft or why it's filled with water, which greatly baffled me in a previous video I made about it. It says this: in July 1824, the committee minuted, now I presume this is the committee of the Huddersfield Narrow Canal, they resolved that Mr. Raystrick, he must be some sort of builder, is empowered and directed to erect immediately an arch in the tunnel under Flint Pit, and afterwards to fill up the said pit. So this is possibly got an arch under it and has been filled in. So it possibly goes the whole depth all the way down to the tunnels beneath. So again, makes it 400, possibly 500 feet deep. Who knows, eh? Just look at this one firstly in the foreground, and then we'll go over and look at the other one in the background, the other shaft. This first one has got a little metal grate inside. The one in the background is far more terrifying. just sat on the edge of the shaft, well above it. I'm not sat right on the very edge of it having a brew. It's so peaceful up here, honestly. And if you know where I am or you live local, get yourself up here because it's really beautiful up here in the hills. But for God's sake, and I don't mean to undermine you when I say this, if you have a dog, keep it on a lead and don't let the kids go near this shaft and treat it with respect. Just looking at that shaft, you know what I should do? I should bring cock rover, shouldn't I, and lower it down the shaft. Although it would scare me, but cock rover's heavy enough and I've got the rope to do it. Get some lights on cock rover and lower it under the water and send it down there. It'd be quite good. Anyway, there's a couple of other things I want to show you in this video as well. I'm trying to make it into a worthwhile video to watch. So let's crack on and go over to Redbrook and I'll see if we can drone that and get a shot of that as well. Right, here we are. I walked across the moor. Redbrook Engine House. If you want to know what this place is, I did a full video on it. Did it last year, December I did it. It's basically an engine house when they were digging the Standedge tunnels and the canal tunnel. This was like a big pumping station. It had Newcomen steam engines in it and they pumped out the water with this thing here. This is about, what is it, probably 1790 odd, 1800 latest, 219 years old this building, and it's just an oblong. It's quite fascinating. Anyway, I'll get the drone up and we'll have a quick look at this thing and then we'll crack on because there's a few other things I want to show you. See the spoil that's come out of the tunnels, and obviously this spoil has been here for like 200 years as well, from when they were digging the canal tunnel and the railway tunnels. So let's get the drone up, take a look at it. When we get above it, you'll see the two shafts either side of the building, the oblong building. They're covered with a grill, and one of those I lowered before they put the reed on the little the gate here, the little entrance to it, so you can't get in anymore. But for a while there was no gate on it, and I got in and lowered cock rover down into one of the shafts. Well, let's take a look at it from an aerial point of view. Right, one last thing I want to do while we're here on the moors, and it's been the last thing I ever do about Standedge, I promise you. You see, right up in the distance there, you've got the two shafts where we were before, the two air vents, and behind us we've got Redbrook. Can you see there? Redbrook, it's the sun shining into the lens. In between there, right, on this moorland, is supposed to be an abandoned shaft, and it's called Heathy Lee. Now I've seen pictures of it and it's just like, I think it's just a hole in the moor. I can't believe it's not fenced off or anything. So I reckon if I walk that way, and it shouldn't be that far, towards those two air vents, I think we should come across the abandoned Heathy Lee. I was going to use the drone to try and fly over the moorland to see if I could see the shaft, but I started to run out of battery. So I'll tell you what, it's really hard walking on moorland, and I've got to maintain a straight line between me and the shafts. Good job it's a nice day. Proper sinking in here as well. Whoops, it's marshy. You look at the moors from the road and they look pretty smooth, but I'm telling you now, this is difficult to navigate. This is dodgy, this. No wonder the sheep don't even come on here. I think I found it. It's a round patch of grass. It's not much to look at. I'm certainly not walking on it. It must have been filled in, but this looks like it's possibly the remains of Heathy Lee. I've just put my foot in that and it's very, very soft. It kind of goes down when you put your foot in, so surely it can't just be hollow underneath, surely not.
Now initially I felt a bit foolish thinking that round patch of land was a shaft. But when I look at the book, it mentions it in the book. Take a look at this picture, and it's a bye pit for the Heathy Lee shaft. And even the book mentions that you can see it from Google Earth, and that's what we're looking at. That's what I've just found, one of the bye pits for the Heathy Lee. Now, apparently from what I'm reading, all this got abandoned. But let's move on, because I am about to find the actual Heathy Lee shaft.
No, that wasn't it. I found it. It's here. This has to be the remaining, one of the disused shafts for Standedge. That's got to be it there, that little round pool in the middle of the moorland, and it's directly in line with the other vents. Look at that. That is scary, because if you came here in the dark, you could just walk into that. You can tell it's a shaft because of all the spoil down here. Can you see it? All the spoil down here, and it just looks like a little pond, but that is sinister, because we know how deep that will be.
So that's it, the abandoned Heathy Lee shaft. Commenced in 1796. It was said to be almost halfway down to canal level when in 1799 it was abandoned. The reason for its abandonment was problems with flooding. This was the massive issue they had digging these shafts up on the moors. The rainfall and the flooding would just swamped the area. Also, they grossly overestimated how many shafts they would need, and they ran into financial difficulties, so they had to abandon certain shafts due to financial problems and flooding.
That was good to find. Now I've just got to find the little path that I followed here back to back to the road. This is really difficult to walk on.
So there you go, a bit of shenanigans on the moors there. I wanted to announce that I got a drone because quite a few people have been very kind and offered to sort of help me out get another one, and I've kind of bided my time and saved up and just got my own basically. But I'm very grateful to the people that did offer to help, and the people that said you need a drone again, you need a drone, you could sort of encourage me to get another one. So going up there was a good way of flying it round, not being able to do any much damage, and it gave me a chance just to go and have a quick look for those lost shafts that I wanted to. That is Standedge put to bed now. Unless somebody can get me on a boat and get me through Standedge tunnels on a boat, that'd be quite good. Anyway, that said, let's just move on. So I'm well aware this video is a bit of a ickle-pickle of different things, but a video I did back in March of 2018 was about the Hertford Mill in Chadderton, Oldham. Now, I think Hertford Mill is about to bite the dust. I think in the next couple of weeks it's going to be pulled down completely. Demolition work has already started. So let's get ourselves down to Chadderton in Oldham and we'll have a look at Hertford Mill and just see where we're up to now with it. Let's go to Chadderton.
So here it is, Hertford Mill in Chadderton in Oldham. Dominates the skyline, but it's living on borrowed time because the demolition company has already moved in and they've started to strip some of the bricks on the lower levels, which I will show you soon. It's still standing, just. It's currently in a state of being demolished. I think they've took all the lower brickwork out from some of these lower walls to recycle them. But I want to try and watch this being demolished if I can. Nothing much going on at the moment, but I want to watch it being demolished because as a kid, obviously, this was always going on. These mills were being demolished all around. It breaks my heart to see it being demolished, but I do find it interesting, the various stages of which it goes through. And one of the things I'm most interested in is how they're going to bring the chimney down. They obviously can't blast it. There's too much going on around here. There's too much buildings and communities around here. But be interesting to see how they bring the chimney down. I'm really interested to see that. Unless they can blast it, I don't know. See what you think. But yeah, we may have to revisit here with the drone. Probably have to come at a weekend when they actually start getting on with the demolition, and we can maybe fly the drone over and get some shots of it in its various stages. It's looking a real sorry sight. It was wonderful to come here when me and Lewis came here. We were down there, we saw all the boiler house and everything with all the shells of the boilers in and everything. So I just thought I'd bring you back here, give you an update on Hertford Mill. Work is underway, not much going on at the moment, and it is a weekday at the minute. There's security all around the compound, so I can't go in, but I can. I just want to get photos and film it, to be honest with you, and record it, because this will be no doubt this area, the mill, and you can see it's quite an overgrown area. This is obviously going to be a housing estate in the next couple of years, and what we're looking at now will be gone forever.
That said, that's the end of the video, but before you go, the next video is probably going to be a bit of a prologue to the River Medlock series. I need to do a video catching up where we're up to with the River Medlock, because River Medlock episode 7 has been filmed. Me and Connor were back in the Medlock recently, and we've filmed, and we've got it all together. And it's quite a good one, even if I don't mind saying so myself. I think mainly because we had quite a lot of fun doing it, to be honest with you. It was a nice day, we had quite a lot of fun doing it. So, we're back in the Medlock. That journey continues. I'll do a little bit of a prologue. I'm going to try and crack out. I know it's been 2 weeks again since the video. Like I say, work gets in the way. But I've got some annual leave coming up, so hopefully we'll get some more videos up. Lots of ideas. Things already filmed that just need editing, so bear with me. We'll be back very soon, and the next saga will be the River Medlock. Thanks for watching this one. See you next time in the next video. Bye for now.